Well, friends, welcome guys to day 2. Guys, we have a huge and tremendous jam-packed day, and we're going to have our hearts broken because we're meeting a whole bunch of rescue kids I've never seen before. We're going to be inspired. We're going to do celebrations. It's going to be crazy cool. I double dog dare y'all to come go with me. Literally all over the world, whenever we get our kids in, we always find them underneath the bed. It's a huge breakthrough, a huge milestone when a kid moves from sleeping underneath the bed to on top of the bed. Because for them, a bed represents how they were sexualized and the trauma that they have experienced. So for this to turn into a safe place is like one of the biggest things that Jesus can do in their life with our kids all over the world. Everything that you're seeing is because all of us have said yes before we had it figured out. And then God just took care of it. Well, hello, my friends. Guys, welcome to Cancun, Mexico. Just on the outskirts of Cancun, actually. And guys, I want to welcome you here. It's been an incredible week. It's a Sunday night. And guys, I'm coming to you strong after spending a whole day in one of our homes here, one that we just recently opened up. And I got so many stories to tell you. I got so many testimonies, guys. You just got through seeing the day 2 wrap up, which was yesterday. And oh my gosh, guys, I'm going to talk to you about that. I'm going to tell you amazing testimonies from today. So here's what I need you to do. Would you please like this, share this, say yes, say hello? Would you do the thing, smash the buttons, and let everybody know that Pastor Troy is on another redemption road trip. And this time he's on the very east part of the Mexican coast. Guys, joining me today is my very good friend, Miss Shay. Hello, Shay.
Hi, thanks for letting me crash your
Yeah, I just point blank asked you. You're setting up all these cameras. You're actually directing all of my media now. Ben is back here. He's been back here pushing buttons and doing the thing. And yeah, right on. And I was like, why don't you just join me? Because you were there with me today.
Yeah, and this is my first trip.
Okay.
So this is really my first missions trip.
Okay.
Essentially in life, but my first trip for sure with TBM and getting to meet these faces that we've been seeing and praying for the past few months has been incredible.
Well, the bar sit pretty dadgum high for you, little girl, because good googly moogly and trying to outdo this trip. Like, oh my gosh. But it's literally that way every single trip we do, Shay. Every single trip. We always say, you know what, that's the best trip we've ever been on.
I can't imagine topping this, to be honest. And I just, after being here, I just feel so fired up about the work that we do. And it's like, I feel like I want to go back and I want to tell everyone, not only these stories, share the stories, but just like the simple ways that people don't realize, just by donating and getting involved and partnering with us in whether small or large, how much that means. Because I've seen the fruit of it. I've seen the fruit of even just like gifting a stuffed animal to a little girl and what that does to their heart,
Okay. And so today we will talk stuffed animals. We will talk housing. We will talk stories of the girls that we just met, including their babies we rescued. And we met a girl a couple of days ago that we had rescued her and also rescued her baby.
Yes.
That broke your heart. And then today we actually saw that again.
Yeah.
And how important it is that we have real homes for these guys and that they get to be kids and that they also get to be mamas, even though they are kids. And oh my gosh, we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, buckle your seatbelt because here over the next 20 minutes or so, Shay and I, and by the way, this is Shay Wilbur. Her husband's name is Joel Wilbur. And you might know her father-in-law, Paul Wilbur. Paul Wilbur. God.
We love him.
We do love him. Paul Wilbur. So I know right now he's going to be calling me later and say, well, you didn't invite me. Like he has any more time to travel. I'm telling you, I don't know anybody that is a road dog the way that Paul Wilbur is. So.
Have you looked in the mirror? Because you are too.
No.
I would say you and Paul between the two of you, I don't know anyone who travels as much.
Well, guys, if you would, again, if you have just now joined us, friends, we are down here in Mexico. We've been down here this past week. Tomorrow is our last day here, and we had to share some of this redemption road trip with you. Now, whenever I do a redemption road trip, it's always about rescuing the rescuers. It's always about rescuing a child. And then it's always about actually teaching a nation. Like, how do we impact this region to do this thing?
Yeah.
And I'm telling you guys, we're actually doing it. So Shay, let's get off into this.
Yeah. So do you want to start? Maybe let's start with day 2. We saw the recap.
Yep.
And we got to visit the girls' home. We got to open a bakery there.
Yeah, we did.
And we got to visit the boys' home for the first time and do a ribbon cutting ceremony.
So okay. So the 3 different parts of that was, number 1, going to the girls' home and opening up the bakery, which is literally for those girls as part of their therapy to actually become pastry chefs.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful bakery.
It is so well done. And this is one of the things that TBM does so well. And I know is such a huge part of what your heart is for these girls, is showing them the heart of God is for them to just live the best life that they possibly can, the quality of life. And so we show them that, we demonstrate that. We don't just put them in homes that are like, meh, okay. Oh, they want to open a bakery. Okay, well, this is kind of ragtaggy bakery. This bakery had the branding. It looked beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It was painted beautifully. The pastries that they're going to be making, we got to test some of those and preview some. I'm like,
chocolate covered Oreos was my
so
favorite. It changed my life.
I'm
like, this is what your Papa Troy likes. And then also too, they made, I don't know, all the pastries they made were
incredible.
crazy.
It was incredible, but seeing their faces, how excited they were to be like witnessing this beautiful bakery, this beautiful space for them. That's basically, it's going to be therapeutic for them. And it's a way that they can not just like, having come from what they came from, their purpose in life is not to just sit in a house and be sad and be upset and hurt over their past. No, we're restoring we're giving them a hope and a future, like the Bible says. And this is a way that they can do that they can work. All
right. Speaking of giving a hope and a future, I'm just going to jump right to the case because, man, I know we're still talking the other day, but today, one of my beautiful little girls that we rescued, they all presented something called their dream books. Okay.
I think we have some pictures of
so yeah, too. I think that we do too, where they're actually showing us their dream books, because guys, we're teaching these kids to dream again. And they dedicate whole pages and they put sparklies on them and do all kinds of someday I'm going to be married and I'm going to wear a giant wedding dress. And someday I'm going to be in high school. And someday I'm going to be in college. And someday I'm going to do this. Someday I'm going to do that. All right. Well, this girl actually, in her dream book, she had done this amazing drawing, and then she had Jeremiah 29:11 in it.
Yeah.
And gosh, we all saw it and we were just ridiculous. And then her last page was,
oh man,
I want to live long enough to see trafficking ended.
Human trafficking ended.
Yeah. I mean, she was like, we have to be able to stop this. And I know this girl in particular, and I know her entire story, and she's beautiful, wasn't she?
She carried something so special, and I didn't have the chance to talk to her really. But you said she was the first rescue in that home, right?
Yeah, she was the first one.
And she carried such a poise there was something that was so like regal and diplomatic. And I just found it so interesting that seeing in her book, like she had it on her heart to end human trafficking. And I saw her as someone that it will not surprise me one bit if God elevates that girl and she's the one that helps to end human trafficking. Like she has something very special inside her.
Okay. So how this works is this home, number 1, was an amazing home.
Beautiful.
Gosh. I mean, I would so live in that house, man.
Live in that house.
I'm telling you, that was a silly house. And then it's in this jungle, and there were literally monkeys in the trees. Yes. And we stopped, got out of the car. I said, guys, I want to show y'all some monkeys. So I just started looking around the trees. I went, yeah, there's monkeys out here. And we did that. And that was a lot of fun. But there's this beautiful lady that gave another ministry this house. And that was her Airbnb house.
Oh, wow.
And she was like, hey, and she knew that this ministry rescued kids. The ministry had no funding whatsoever. So it's been sitting there for over 2 years vacant.
No way.
Yep. And then we got involved with this other ministry and went, what would it take, for us to fund this and all that? And they were like, okay, Here's the deal. This house needs to be furnished. We have a home and it's beautiful. We need $100,000 to get into compliance. And then we need some help in working with prosecuting attorneys to actually go after these traffickers and prosecute them and then send them kids to us. And we said, okay. And we did all that.
Wow.
And just a few months ago, though this house had been sitting vacant literally for years, you and I stepped in, and all of us here at Troy Brewer Ministries, and we went, no, we're going to turn this into a home. It truly is a home, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it definitely is. It's
And then,
beautiful.
boom, our first girl that we rescued, and she was truly a trafficking victim. I mean, she was a slave, and she was sold from person to person, and all these kinds of things. And she's been a slave for years.
Wow.
For years. And we got her. And she's no longer a slave, is she?
No, and she's not in bondage. I know she said, I remember one of the other things she said in her book was that I'm going to cry saying it, but she wants to be able to heal emotionally.
Yes.
And gosh,
that was part of her. That was like her second page. It was
such a mature thing to say and to vocalize in that way. And also, some of those girls in the home, some of them were more recently rescued from what you said. And you can see it. Like you can see the ones who are still in a deep, deep level of bondage, and the Lord's still peeling off the layers of their heart. But this girl, she truly, I already saw so much freedom in her, and I'm like, this is only the beginning. But to see that, and then to see that verse, for I know the plans I have for you, prosper you, a hope and a future, and that she is holding so tight to that verse, that is probably life for her.
That girl has been trafficked since she was little, so she's never been in school in her whole life.
Wow.
And she was so proud. Like her first page of her dream book was actually she wanted to get into high school.
Yeah.
And she's an older girl. I mean, she's a high school age girl.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay. And she's like, I've only been here for 3 months or 4 months. I think she's been there for 4 months, something like that. And we have a full-time psychiatrist in every single one of our homes. We have a full-time teacher that is there, and she's just got such great aptitude. She's almost finished completely with middle school, moving into high school, and she is working day and night trying to pass all of her tests to get up into the high school level, even though she's probably 16, 17-year-old girl, because she's never had a chance to go to school. And you saw that as well. All of the kids just cherish the fact that they can go to school.
Yes, they all said something about that, about the education. Oh, I want to go to college. Oh, I want to go to high school. They were all they really value the gift of that.
Yeah, they feel so empowered by it, because as little kids, they're slaves and they're victim to whoever comes through the door the next minute. And they're just like, I just want to be a kid in school.
Yeah.
And dude, you can so see it. When you're around these kids after you get them out, you can tell that for years, they're the highest dream that they could possibly dream, the biggest fantasy that they could have is to just be a normal kid that got to go to school.
Yeah.
And wow. So we're like, okay, we're going to give you the best, the best, the best, the best, best.
Yeah.
And then one of our little girls that we have rescued within the past, I think that this house has been up and running now for about 5 months, I think.
Yeah.
And again, it's sat vacant for years, no funding, not in compliance, no good furniture. We stepped in, we literally spent hundreds of thousands of dollars designated to this one house.
Yeah.
And said, no, we're going to do this, and we're going to help these kids. And we stepped in, we did that. Boom, they came in. There's a little girl tomorrow, and you met her, the girl in the white bow. Oh, what a sweetie, man.
So sweet.
She is going to school tomorrow. It's her first day of real school. Not, and this school is a specialty school, and they teach marine biology.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And so she was like, okay, it's on the ocean, so I'm going to get to work with real scientists, because she loves science and she loves fish and she loves those things. And I don't know how old that little girl is. How old do you think she is?
Gosh. Oh, wait, she told me, I think she's the one, I believe. Is she the one who it's her dream to have a quinceañera? So she's 14. I believe she's 14.
Is she? So the girl in the blue shirt with the white bow, The one that's starting school. So
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
that
yeah,
is
yeah.
her.
No,
Yeah,
I think
so
it
she
is her.
is. So
Mhm.
she's actually 14.
Yep.
So she has already, in the short time that she's been there, she's done so well in school. And mind you, we have teachers that work with them 8 hours a day. And you saw the
Yeah,
teachers.
educators, they're
And
incredible.
dude,
Wow.
and they're also teaching them English.
English, yep.
Which is a big deal.
And they were so excited to practice that on us.
I know.
Here we are
Yeah.
trying to speak Spanish to
Yeah.
them and like connect with them. And then
And
they're
I'm a
trying to
big time
speak English
failure
to
at
us.
that.
It was so sweet.
Right on. So Ben, you're moving the cameras back and forth as well, correct?
Oh yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hadn't seen anybody push
Yeah,
any
we
buttons out there. So,
They're doing good.
so in the midst of all your media stuff, I just wanted.
Yeah.
Good boy. Thanks,
Yeah.
man. Ben has been with us all this week, and he's done a great job. He's working behind the scenes. Gio is back. He's here behind the cameras, and we got really good lighting in
I
here.
know.
You were excited about the lighting.
I get
Because-
excited about good lighting.
Like
This
this
is part
good
of it.
lighting, which is exactly what I think. No, I don't. But unless I
okay.
turn it on and go, golly, the lighting's bad. So I'm very grateful.
No,
Thank you.
it's good. You're good.
Well, so yeah, so she's going to be starting her first day of school tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it's the first kid in that home that gets to leave the home to go to school
Yeah, that's
outside of the home. That is a big deal.
Huge. Yeah.
Big deal.
And I loved that we had so we from what it seems like, at least from what I've seen, we always bring gifts for these homes.
Yeah,
the
we always
homes
do.
are just so
Every
fun.
time.
It's the best part.
Every time.
And it's not just like we don't just bring generic gifts.
Yeah.
We have a list from each girl with their name and what they requested. So we're not just giving them like a generic, here's a stuffed animal. We're giving them stuff that they specifically wanted. And what I found interesting and what I love about just the timing of how God orchestrated all this, she wanted a new pair of white sneakers. And I was just remembering myself as a kid, before school, your mom takes you shopping, or dad or whoever, to get you like, if you're blessed enough to get you a new pair of shoes or something new for starting school. And I just love that we happened to be there the day before she's going to school, giving her these new white sneakers that, she's going to wear so proudly on her first day of school, being the first kid to be able to leave the home and go to school somewhere and then come back. Like that was just so special to be a part of that.
Okay. Another thing too that she was super excited about is before we went to the house, we stopped by a car lot.
Oh yeah.
And we bought a brand spanking new 14-seater van, which is crazy.
Yeah, I think they're showing a picture of it.
Yeah, and there's a picture of it. And man, we rode it off the showroom floor per se.
Yep.
And then drove it over there and we hid it. And then we went in and met them, and then we gave them their gifts and we prayed for them. And again, they wanted to show us their beds. Hey, look, again, we discussed this the other day, that when these kids that have come out of slavery, when they are proud to show you their bed, that means a big deal.
Huge growth for them. Breakthrough.
Because the bed represents a place of trauma for them and a place of slavery for them. When their bed becomes their prized possession and they feel so secure and they have all their stuffed animals on it and they say, this is where I sleep. And they're so proud to show it to you. Dude, I'm going to tell you, it's hard to explain that to people who've never worked with traumatized kids, particularly kids that come out of sexual slavery. But whenever we first get them, they never sleep in the bed. They always sleep under the bed.
Yeah.
And we have to have a worker inside every single one of the rooms. And typically, like in today's case, there was like 4 kids in one room.
They've got
and
like
those were the
bunk beds set
littles.
up,
But there's a bed in there just for the worker, because who knows how they might freak out in the middle of the night. And that's one of the things that a worker has to do is whenever a kid comes in and she doesn't want to sleep in the bed, she wants to sleep under the bed. And little boys are even more prone to want to sleep under the bed and not on top of the bed. Then what you do is then you just lay down a pillow on the floor and you lay down next to the bed and you sleep next to those kids.
That's what I would do for one of my kids.
And me and Leanna's done that.
Yeah.
We've done that. I promise you. We've done that for our own kids. And we've also done that for other people's kids and kids that we've actually rescued. And, one time Leanna and I was in India, we rescued a whole bunch of kids. And before we got them to the place where they would stay, we were at a hotel and we got these kids. These kids were coming in through the day. The rescuers were bringing them in and they all needed a shower and they all needed a bath and, all that. And then that night, all these kids, and I actually have a picture which I did not prepare, so it's okay, Ben. No, it's okay. I'm talking about the picture. Ben knows the pictures of the Indian kids, all of them sleeping on the floor. And he knows that picture, and you don't got to try and find it, buddy. I'm sure we don't have it, but are prepared. But it's like, I don't know. I bet you we do. He's
Watch,
like,
he's
we
gonna
might.
find it. He's
And
gonna
these
find
kids
it.
are all sleeping on the floor, and that's why, because they're scared to get into a bed. Man, when they make the leap from sleeping on the floor to sleeping in the bed, and then man, when they make the leap to come and see my bed, I made it.
Yeah.
I made my own bed, and that was something else too they were really proud of.
Oh, so
Go
proud.
check out my bed because I made it.
Yeah, and I will say they were so meticulously made. I was like,
They
wow,
were made.
they
I mean, it was
really
like military.
yeah, they.
I mean,
really
it was
keep
like,
this
wow.
nice.
And then all their dolls are perfectly on their bed and
Yeah.
everything because that's their place.
Yeah,
That's their space,
there's
man.
space now.
And it's like, dude, you got to do that. I want to,
Ugh.
guys, I got a whole bunch more testimonies to tell you. This is Shay Wilbur. She's the director of Troy Brewer Ministries Media, and I'm Troy Brewer. And guys, we're down here with a great big team on the East Coast of Mexico. We have been in Mexico City, but today we're in the Cancun area where we have the only house that is in compliance with the federal government to receive trafficked kids. We're it. And guys, we have so many more to build. And guys, we have so many more kids to rescue and to save. Would you please help us? Guys, call the number that's on the screen. It's right there. If you want to jump in and say, no, man, this is my cause. I got to make this happen. Simply call 877-413-0888, or you can go to odx.tv.
Yeah. And I will say it's like, doing these live streams, it's so important because I really believe that people need to understand from the front lines the stories and these when you see them again. I have been on the outside. This is my first trip here, and I've just seen pictures and I've seen video. And I can tell you, being here and connecting those faces with those pictures is so moving. I mean, you just can't forget it. And the realness of what Troy Brewer Ministries does. I mean, we are boots on the ground. You're not partnering with ministries who are going to do all the things. Like, we partner with people, but we are the ones here with the homes. We are the ones, you guys are the ones visiting these kids. You call them your kids. They're your kids, and I remember it. I just have to share this one story because it so moved me as a mom. There was a picture that we got a couple weeks ago of a rescue with her baby. And the girl was, I think she's 16. She's 16 years old. Looks older in the sense that she looks like she's lived life. Like, she has like a hardness about her. And I remember seeing this picture of her holding her baby. Both of them were rescued, and the baby was very overweight. I mean, so cute. I love a chunky baby, but you could tell this baby was very overweight, and it was because this baby was fed Coca-Cola from the bottle.
It. Coca-Cola from the bottle.
Coca-Cola from the bottle.
No milk, no nothing, because her mama had to work in the brothel.
Yeah. And was being trafficked by her mom.
And was being trafficked by her mom.
By her own mother.
And they fed this kid Coca-Cola, which is, I mean, this kid for the first several months of her life just drank nothing but Cokes.
Yeah. And just that alone broke me, just seeing that picture and knowing that story. And then we were in the house. We had been in the house for a couple minutes, and I didn't put two and two together until someone mentioned, I think Swanami mentioned to me, like, that's the baby that, she's so chunky because she was fed Coca-Cola. And I just lost it. It was like just seeing this sweet baby, and this baby, most babies, when you go up to them, if they don't know you, they'll be like shy, or they'll be like kind of like hide. And I'm the type where I'm like, I will love on you regardless, I'm going to attack you with love, and then you'll learn to like me. That's how I am with my kids, at least. But this baby was different. And when I went up to this little baby and she looked at me and said,
Yeah. She already had a hard no.
And it was like,
she's a baby.
Whoa.
She's like, don't.
It was like I was like, I will respect that. Yeah. I will respect that baby. That is a no I've never seen. And that's a no from a baby who did not have control over what happened to her. And I'm, no, you're a year and a half, and I respect you, and I will not, and I did win her over. I will say, I did win her over.
I was going to say, it did. But 30 minutes later, she was hanging all over us, but she didn't know it.
I've never seen that from like a year and a half baby. I have a baby that's right at that age. And to see that, no, like, like, I don't want you touching me. I'm like, okay, I won't. You have the freedom now to say that. Like, that baby has the freedom now to say that. And that's
a big deal.
I will not forget.
You haven't had a chance to go with Leanne and I to Uganda yet, but like we have one home that has 79 babies in it. I know. One home. And we got so many homes in Uganda, and we've been in Uganda for almost 30 years. And I can tell you that a bunch of the kids that we rescue, a bunch of the babies that we rescue, They have literally, okay, their mama died in childbirth, and their dad just turns the kid over to just turns this baby over to like the village. The village passes them around if they don't murder the child, which many times they do. But if they feed that baby anything, what they always feed them is beer. And so that baby will grow up that, say, we might rescue, say, a 5-month-old or 6-month-old, and the only thing that child has ever consumed is beer.
That is crazy.
So whenever we actually get these kids, they're full-blown alcoholics.
Yeah, at like what? I mean, what age? Like
at 5 months old.
That's insane.
At 3 months old, because the only thing when they think I'm hungry, they just think alcohol. Gosh. And it's like, dude, then man, they need some serious rescue. So it's one thing, man, to try and tell those stories. It's another thing to actually see it, and then to see the difference of them running and playing, and they're full of the Holy Ghost and they love Jesus. Yeah. You know, today the place that you went is a brand new home, so they're all brand new rescues. The entire home is. Yeah. And that's kind of a different scenario. Totally. Not somebody that got rescued 3 years ago or 4 years ago. And they're kind of the mama girl. No, all of these girls recently came out of literal slavery. And what's amazing is the house is already filled up. I think we can receive like 2 or 3 or more, and then that's it. And then we're done. And then but man, we're taking them all on at the same exact time.
Yeah, it'd be cool to have another house even within that like kind of compound.
Yeah.
It would be awesome.
Guys, listen, we have so many more houses to build. Now, one of the reasons why we have to build a whole lot more houses is because we're rescuing so many. Now, how it works down here in Mexico is you work with the prosecuting attorneys, and we have a very good relationship with so many prosecuting attorneys that are just like, really? You guys do this? Like, yes, ma'am, we do. Yes, sir, we do. And this is not something you're just starting. No, it's not. We've been doing this now for 30 years. And these are not the first kids you've ever rescued. No, sir. We have rescued more than 11,000 kids and have raised nearly all of them, which is craziness. And like, what? I'm like, yeah, I'm telling you. So they are encouraged because there is a ministry that is coming down, building these beautiful homes, staffing them, paying for the entire staff, all the food, all the education, all the 9 yards, all of that, and then getting it into compliance, and then continuing that support year after year after year until they no longer need us. Well, you know what? Other great ministries are starting to team with us now. And I'm so grateful. Guys, I'm about to show you a video. And this video, I'm actually going to make the announcement that a few weeks ago, we rescued another 14 kids in one moment. Now, when I say we, I mean it's me and the collaborative ministries and humanitarian efforts that we're involved with people all over the world, because what's really is all these guys, they're all looking for a place to land these kids, because we're different. We don't just rescue kids. We also raise those kids. And then our commitment is for a lifetime. And guys, outside of us, I don't know. I've never seen it. And so we're trying to model this, and we're trying to change the body of Christ, not to just either be raisers or rescuers, but to actually be rescuers and raisers. Guys, we do that very effectively. So I'm going to show you a video, and I've got a very special announcement to make. Watch this. Well, hello, my friends. Guys, I have a very special announcement that I get to make to you right here, right now, and it has to do with a recent bunch of rescues that we've been having to keep secret. Now, the reason why we've had to keep it secret is because these girls have to be secured. Now, you might have already heard about it, but you just didn't know that we were involved with it. The world famous rescuer by the name of Tim Ballard, the guy that is actually the real guy from The Sound of Freedom, he recently posted a post about rescuing 14 kids. Watch this.
I'm very, very, very happy to report that we just rescued 14 kids. We don't have all their names or information, but the majority were 12 years old. Think about that. Think of a 12-year-old, we just got them out. So they didn't cross the border. They're going to be safe here in Mexico in a safe house. We're going to take care of them. More information is on its way, but we are speeding to the airport right now because we have probably been compromised, and pray that we get out safe.
Okay, so that was a short clip from the Tim Ballard social media, and he was saying, hey, man, we rescued these 14 kids, and some of them are 12 years old. Some of them are even younger than that. But hear me say this. He says, we have a safe house to put them in. I got great news. We are that safe house. That's us. It's the first time that we've ever teamed up with him and actually done anything. So happy about that. But guys, our reputation of building safe houses has become so big, and our reputation as being mamas and papas of these kids is so good that now other worldwide organizations are actually turning their kids over to us. Friends, I want to encourage you. Help us take in these 14 kids, because as soon as we do, this house, the house that they're going to go into, in a very secret location, will be filled to maximum capacity, which then means we're going to have to build a bunch more houses. Get in the fight. Help me do this. Go to odx.tv or call 877-413-0888. Hey, wowzers.
So cool.
So happy to announce those 14 rescues.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
I mean, it's funny because I saw when Tim Ballard posted that, I was like, wow, that's really cool. And then I came into work literally the next day and you told me, you're like, guess what? Those are our girls. I was like, that's amazing. And I couldn't wait till we could announce it. We've been waiting to make that announcement. So I'm glad we can finally share it.
That's on the Tex-Mex border. Yeah. And so there's been some pretty hairy things going on, some precarious stuff, some sketchy stuff that, whenever you rescue a bunch of kids from that level of trafficking, I mean, it was great for Tim to announce it. I'm glad he did and all that. But I mean, you saw he was very careful not to give specifics and all that. And I didn't want to give any specifics. And so we've been waiting until everything is settled down a little bit, because this was on the text. They were literally, you didn't understand this is on the Tex-Mex border. And since our borders are completely open, and since the southern borders of Mexico are completely open, these kids are coming into a horrible situation by the tens of thousands, if not the hundreds of thousands, if not the millions over the past 4 years.
Wow.
And guys, we got a lot of work to do. So I'm excited about that. And I'm going to get to know those kids.
Yeah. I mean, we all talked about, even at lunch afterwards, saying, okay, everyone in our group is kind of taking on one of those girls that we met today. Like, okay, what do they need? I want to go shopping. The one mama and the little girl, I have the list of what she wants, and I'm planning to go get her some of that stuff as well. I know in her dream book, one of the things was she wanted to be able to dress her daughter in nice clothes. Like that's one of her literal dreams in life. And I'm like, we can make that happen. It's just people, I think it's like, there are so many ways that people's donations can go to helping these girls. I believe there are people watching that can partner with us and can fund a whole home and can fund cars to transport these girls and boys. I mean, we need that level of givers. We need people to say, God's put it on my heart to buy them a home. Like that literally one home, the amount of kids that can fit in that, just think about the lives that could be changed. And so, and maybe you're not one of those people that can fund a whole home, but maybe you can donate whatever you're able to, that God puts on your heart. Like any of those gifts, big or small, make a difference. And we see the difference. We saw the difference physically today. I saw the difference of just literally what giving a dress or a speaker or a set of headphones, what that can do for these kids. So I just want to encourage people, like, this is the real deal. If you're watching and you're following us, I mean, you see it. And I saw it today physically with my own eyes. And as the media director, I feel like it's my job to now help communicate to all of you watching what has happened here and what we have seen. And I take that very, very seriously. It's a huge responsibility. And, this is only the beginning, but I just want to encourage you, if you're looking for somewhere to partner, if you want to, step into an even greater partnership with us, now is the time.
My good friend Tony Timmons was with us today. And while we were there, one of the things that we did was, as soon as we walked in the door, there was one girl who's recently been rescued, and she's still in a trauma state. So it's not like you can just walk in the door and go, hey, you can do it, because these kids were just recently rescued. And I mean, they get excited and get upset very easy. And this one little girl, she kind of backed up, and they were all geared. Hey, get ready. All these gringos are going to be coming in.
Yeah, they were warned.
And they were warned. And hey, they're going to be bringing presents and all this. And they were all excited. But then, we came in, and this one little girl, and I don't know how old that little girl is. I have no idea. She looks like
she was young.
Yeah, maybe 9 or
10,
10.
and she was trafficked
Yeah.
with her
Yeah.
sister was the
Yeah.
the mama
Yep.
girl.
And so that little girl she's had her little body sewed since she's little bitty bitty. And she's still little. I mean, she's
Ye-
9 or 10 years old.
And she looks 9 or 10. She doesn't
Yeah.
look like old.
Yeah. Well, she backed up. She put it back up against the wall and she was not happy. She was like, okay, I don't know these people. I don't know what's happening. The last time I was in a room where a bunch of people were in the room, it was not good.
Yep.
And man, Leanna spotted her.
Mm.
And Leanna just kind of waded right through all the people, went straight to that little girl and started talking to her. And she was kind of up against the wall and she was terrified. Man, Leanna went straight over there. And you saw what happened.
Yeah, the mama magic that she has, Holy Spirit magic,
She
it's and she was she was unrelenting in the pursuit of that girl.
And she got her.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah. I mean, by the time we left, she was laughing and she was so excited about her new vehicle, about that car. And the little girl that is starting school tomorrow, she actually said, oh my gosh, I get to wear my new I get to wear my new shoes to this new school and get to ride in this brand new van.
Wow.
So she was like, the first impression I'm going to make is getting out of this brand new vehicle with my brand new shoes on. Like, gosh, or just like, whatever you want.
Seriously, that's how it feels when you're there. You're just like, can I go to Costco right now and get everything? Like,
You said that today.
I want to do that. I'm like, I just want to buy the whole freaking store of anything, like, and everything. Like, you
just want to just set them up.
Yeah.
You want to set them up. And guys, I'm telling you, we are actually doing that. We're doing it and we're doing it bigger than we've ever done it before. There's never been a time that we've made a greater impact than now.
Yeah.
And there's never been a time it's so tangible and so easily identifiable, the impact that we're making on one individual child, upon so many rescuers, and upon actually impacting entire regions. You've seen it on this trip.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just want to encourage people right now, if you are feeling that tug on your heart, or you're feeling convicted, or you want to partner or learn more, go to odx.tv and click on that give button, because I'm telling you, I've seen it with my own eyes. You are sowing into good seed. And one of the ways you know that is the fruit. You'll know them by their fruit. That's what the Bible says. And the fruit here is incredible. And it's only, you said it the other day, like we've rescued over 11,000 kids with Troy Brewer Ministries. And the only reason we haven't rescued another 11,000 is just because is a financial thing.
It's financing. That's all it is.
Yeah, that's all.
It's just stinking money, which just,
I know.
Listen, you know how I am.
I know.
Money.
You said, I hate money. I don't like money, but I need money to rescue kids. That's what one of the first things you said to me. And it's true.
It is true.
And we need partners. We literally rely on people who have it on their hearts in the same way that we do. So
I want to encourage you guys, listen, if you're in a position to give to this, don't hold on to it, give it. And tell you, guys, I can honestly ask you to do that because it's not coming to me. We all get a check and our check doesn't change. It just is what it is. But this, guys, what we're trying to raise money for right now is to literally, we have, including the Tex-Mex border, we have, you can argue either 5 or 7 homes because some of our homes have kids in it. It's a seasonal thing. It depends on what time of the year it is. And there's a whole reason for that. But guys, we don't just need twice as many. We don't just need 3 times as many. We need much more than that. And with every house, we need the staffing. And with every house, we have the $100,000 compliance, cost $100,000 every single house. With every house, you got to have
psychologists and the social workers. Yes. Again, it's not just about, hey, we saved these kids, we're going to put them in a safe place. The security.
Oh, listen, it's a money pit. And I'm just telling you, it is a money pit. And it's like any, it's like raising anybody's kids.
Yeah.
It's a money pit.
Yeah.
And man, I don't care. I literally do not care. I just don't care. I just want to see these kids saved in every way that a girl can be saved.
Yeah.
Or in yesterday's case, boys.
Yeah.
The home that we put those beautiful boys in.
Yeah.
Guys, you'd have to see it. You just like, why don't you just stick them in some, RV down by the river, Well, you're going to be living in a van by the river.
Down by the river.
Sorry.
No, but we're showing them the heart of God. And that's what they came from, being slaves, whether the boys, they were slaves, and the girls as well. And the heart of God is to give them a blessed life and a good life and a life that they're proud of and a great quality of living. And so that's a big part of what we demonstrate.
Guys, I wouldn't tell you this if this was not the truth. I promise you, this is the truth. We are raising so many kids and rescuing so many kids and saving so many kids. And the only thing that is keeping us from rescuing twice as many is just partnership. That's all it is. Would you get up here and tell people this if this was not the truth?
No, I mean, you can't, no.
No. And you've seen it.
There's just no way that you could fake. At least I physically am not that type of person. Maybe some people can, but I can't fake what I experienced and the reality of how that has affected me. And like, the photos affected me when I saw them weeks ago. But seeing these kids and babies face to face and little boys, it's like, gosh, how can you not?
Last Thursday, before we came down here to Mexico City and to Cancun to visit our homes, we were in Acuna, Mexico, and I had my buddy Tony Timmons with me and had some other extraordinary human beings with me. And these guys have seen the pictures and they've seen the videos, and they've heard some stories, and they already supported us. They already loved us. They're already like, no, we're in. And man, when we got in the vehicle and when we got back to the airport, these are all really tough guys, and everybody was just very quiet, and everybody was just like, dang, Brewer, we had no idea.
Yeah.
We just had no idea. And it really is like that. I mean, it's so much bigger and so much grander than you can possibly imagine. And guys, it's going on every single day of the week. And so I'll just tell you guys personally, and I'll tell you this personally as well. My biggest fear in pastoring a church, when God told me to pastor Open Door, and when he brought me into this ministry, my biggest fear was that I would have to raise funds. I'm like, I'll do anything, just don't ask me to be a fundraiser. And now look at me now. Guys, I'm over it. And this is what I'm saying. I'm over it because I know that it saves children's lives. Guys, please support us. Go to 877-413-0888. Again, call the number 877-413-0888. Or you can go to odx.tv, or you can look up my name, troybrewer.com, and go there and stand with us and go, boom. At odx.tv, guys, we have different stages of partnership. And once you partner with us at ODX, you can actually view all the content, untold thousands of hours of content that's on there. We have different stages.
Much more to come.
And much more to come.
Much more content.
And for all of our third stage viewers at odx.tv, guys, every single ticketed event that we have at Open Door Church, including all of our concerts, including all of our conferences, all of those things, you know what? Those are free to all of my third stage partnerships. So maybe that's for you. And we actually have a big concert coming up.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a good time to mention the concert and the conference. We have Rita Springer coming to Open Door Church, which is incredible. She is like one of the mothers. She's like a mother of the faith worship leader. I grew up listening to her, and she's still operating under this insane worship anointing, just so incredibly talented. And she really has been a trailblazer in worship music and for the past like 20, 30 years. And she's going to be there along with Anna Golden. It's going to be great. And so they have a concert. That concert's a ticketed event. Of course, if you're stage 3 on ODX,
it's free.
You're a part of that. It's
free to you.
But then that also kicks off the women's conference, which is going to be an incredible weekend. So if you want to know more about it, just go to our website.
Well, guys, this is us. This is it. We're in Mexico. It's been a heck of a week. I'm so grateful that you guys joined me. I'm so grateful for my good friend Patricia King that came down at the first part of the week, and I know that she preached at Open Door today. I've not yet seen it because we've been out all day today. I'm fixing to go back to my room. I'm fixing to go watch it. And I just know it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be good.
I know it's going to be ridiculous. And my good friend Tony Timmons that came down, and then all of our team.
Thornton.
Pastor Philip Thornton. Listen, Pastor Philip Thornton from Legacy Faith Church
in Pennsylvania,
in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Man, what a rock star. What a great man of God he is. Oh my gosh. And he came down, he brought somebody from his board and somebody from his ministry team. And those guys have supported us for years and years. And they're looking to partner in even a much greater way. And I want to get my hands dirty. I want to take on a project. We're like, okay, we'll fix it. Yeah, we've got projects. So I want to say a great big thank you to all of our media team that's been here all week. And everybody that's worked so hard, and everybody who's been willing to laugh and cry at the same time.
Mhm.
And I want to say thank you to you.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me, because it's been definitely a special experience.
Well, I appreciate you making a sacrifice to come and go.
Yeah.
I sure do.
Thank
Guys,
you.
listen, I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you so much for joining us. Yes, Ben?
Oh,
And Ben, come on, Ben.
day 2. Okay.
Day 2 recap. Guys, I want to wrap this up with our day 2 recap. And guys, until the next time I see you, I call you the head and not the tail, above and not beneath, and highly favored of the Lord. Bye-bye. Well, friends, welcome, guys, to day 2. Guys, we have a huge and tremendous jam-packed day, and we're going to have our hearts broken because we're meeting a whole bunch of rescue kids I've never seen before. We're going to be inspired. We're going to do celebrations. It's going to be crazy cool. I double dog dare y'all to come go with me. Literally all over the world, whenever we get our kids in, we always find them underneath the bed. It's a huge breakthrough, a huge milestone when a kid moves from sleeping underneath the bed to on top of the bed. Because for them, a bed represents how they were sexualized and the trauma that they have experienced. So for this to turn into a safe place is like one of the biggest things that Jesus can do in their life with our kids all over the world. Everything that you're seeing is because all of us have said yes before we had it figured out. And then God just took care of it.